For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise, and you surely feel naughty when you swallow our coffee. If you want some real heat, give your mouth a fine treat. You will want some more, rest assured. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough of.
It's time for The Scribble, your weekly fix of celebrity chats, bizarre stories in the news, and basic random chatter with best-selling author and syndicated radio host Jeremy Bradley. Make sure your seat is in the upright and locked position and your barf bag is securely in place. Here's Jeremy Bradley.
Thank you very much, Larson. Jeremy Bradley here on the Scribble podcast. But here's some fun news. I mentioned it last week on the show that our syndicated radio program called Top of the Charts celebrates its 500th episode on December 7th, the week of December 7th. So if you're tuning in a couple of days before that, we don't know what's happened on the show, because here's the deal. We've got a whole bunch of surprise celebrity guests that are called... I don't know what's happened anyway. My team here does. And they like surprising me, and we've worked together for 9.5 years. They know I hate surprises. I'm kind of like Oprah in that respect. I love to have complete control over my show, but this one time I said, go with it. Run wild. I don't want to know what's happening. Surprise me. So it's 2 hours of me on my toes. So here's the deal. If you're listening to this before December 7th, I have no idea what's happened. If you're tuning into this podcast after December 7th, I very well could have fired the entire staff. I could have been embarrassed and dragged through the mud. Maybe something could have happened that landed me on TMZ. I don't know. But of course, we're doing this for December 4th. And I don't really know what to expect. So what we're doing today here on the podcast is looking back at 9.5 years, 500 shows of our radio broadcast. And like I mentioned, surprise guests, well, we have had lots of them. We've got a montage coming up in just a little bit where it's a walk down memory lane of the celebrity guests who have surprised me. We're talking everybody from Jeff Probst, host of Survivor, Dolly Parton. We've had Joy Behar from The View. We've had Jeff Foxworthy. We've had Donald Duck and Goofy. We've had, I can't even remember all of them. So it's going to be fun to listen to that. And I'm just going to talk about some of the things that have happened on the show that are memorable moments for me. We're going to get into it right after this.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom41.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom41.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 41.com. Go to freedom41.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom41.com.
Scribble Dribble brought to you by SpeakFreeWithJB.com.
Thank you.
Check out syndicated newspaper columnist Jeremy Bradley's rants and raves in his weekly news and entertainment columns.
Yay.
That's at SpeakFreeWithJB.com. Since he's paid to not shut up, God knows why. Once again, Jeremy Bradley.
Jeremy Bradley here, back on This Scribble. Thanks to everybody who has tuned in at thescribbleshow.com on SoundCloud and iTunes. We'd love for you to subscribe, and we'd also love your feedback. You can tweet us up at The Scribble Show, and you can also email me, jb@jbonair.com, jb@jbonair.com. We have a fun time having celebrity guests on the show. It's always fun to talk about what they want to promote and what they want to hawk, but it's nice to have a little place to vent and do your own little bit of ranting, and that's what's interesting about this podcast, because yes, it's basically just me here talking at you, But I definitely love hearing your feedback and have made quite a few email friends. That's how old school I am. I still prefer the email, as my dad would say. But back over to our radio show called Top of the Charts, celebrating its 500th episode the week of December 7th. And we've had some really interesting times, and I'll give you some background as to how the show got started. Back in the day, I was living in my parents' basement. I dropped out of college. I was looking for work in the industry, so I started to write a newspaper column. You got to remember, this is before the days of social media and really instant access to anybody, that we just didn't have that. So I went to Yahoo chat rooms. I was spending hours and hours overnight looking up email addresses for newspaper publishers and editors, and I desperately wanted to get a job in journalism. And so I started to write a column, blasted out to all of the newspapers in Canada. At the time, I think I had about 600 email addresses that I was emailing every week. And a lot of them would be, you're not from our city or from our town. We don't, thanks, but no thanks kind of deal. And there was a radio station in Vancouver that had taken notice of what I had written and wanted me to record my commentaries for radio. They had kind of a chat show every Thursday night, I believe it was, or maybe it was Tuesday. It was Thursday. And then they wanted me to co-host a Tuesday show with them. So they had about 3 or 4 hosts on. I joined them by phone at first. And, it was just this guy in Winnipeg. They were in Vancouver. And we had a really good connection. We had a great time, laughs like crazy, laughs galore on the show. And so then they had asked me if I wanted to host my own show. And I actually said no. I had no interest in that. I wanted to do newspaper stuff. And so I didn't shut off the relationship with them. I mean, we continued on. I still recorded my column for them. And then they said, just this one Monday night, we need a 2-hour fill-in host. It's 2 hours. We've already got the music. You just have to come on every 15 minutes. You can even record these things from your house if you want, and then send them to us, and then we'll just drop it into a show. So, of course, I like to take things to the next level and say, you know what, I'm going to go all out. I'm going to plan this thing. I'm going to put it together. I'm going to have a great show. And sure as poop, it was very quickly a very, very popular show on the station. And after about maybe not even quite 10 weeks, I had said, you know what, I'm bigger than this station and I'm going to syndicate. And so that's where I actually made a business out of it. So while people were getting involved in internet radio, that's the beginning of internet radio, was about almost 10 years ago, I was in at the ground level. And I went at it from a business point of view. I was the kid in his parents' basement, but certainly I looked at it from, how can I sell advertising? How can I make money off of doing this? Because I wanted to make money until I could pay for college. I would use that money money made in the industry to then pay for college, finish college, get a job. Did not think of being an entrepreneur, did not think of doing it on my own, but that's kind of what ended up happening. Didn't go back to college, so it seems to have worked out because I own a company and we have very successful radio shows, newspaper columns, and books. So what ended up happening was I wanted to then take it to the next level and get some production value in terms of content that we were featuring on the air. So I had, I was slowly gathering a group of people to help produce the show, and it's very difficult being from Canada and then wanting to interview American celebrities, because when it comes to TV shows and things like that, the ratings in Canada don't affect an American television show at all. So access is very limited to a Canadian media outlet wanting to talk. So CTV at the time, a big Canadian network for our American friends tuning in, was airing Canadian Idol, right? That's when those Idol shows were sweeping the world. And that was my in. I got in good with the publicists, covered the finales in Toronto, red carpet events, very, in the grand scheme of entertainment in Hollywood, very low-end stuff. So I at least had something to show for myself as being a credible entertainment reporter. Thanks to our friends at Fox and NBC then for giving me a chance and interviewing some of their talent on their broadcasts or programming. And then it just kind of spiraled into that. So then we were doing interviews on the phone. Then we were doing red carpet interviews. Then it turned into these tourism travel broadcasts that we do 3 times a year. So now we work with local tourism boards, and they fly us out there, and we spend 4 or 5 days traveling around, showcasing. Basically, we're being paid to vacation, but we're working very hard while we're there. And then we have these books now that are bestsellers and spinning off into newspaper video columns, and it's been a wild ride. So Top of the Charts is kind of our center point. That's been our flagship show, and then that's what's turned into the country music show that we do called The Open Road, the entertainment wrap-up daily entertainment show that we do, this podcast. So everything really has spawned from initially a newspaper column, but then that radio show. So it's been a huge success. We've had We've done some very unique programming when there was the earthquake in Haiti, when there was the Purple Shirt Day for the gay and lesbian community where, it gets better. That was the big slogan, that campaign that year, probably about maybe 5 years ago or so. We stopped the 2 hours of music and we did a 1 hour show. Actually, it was a supplement. It was an extra show we did of just talking. We had no music. It was 1 hour of kind of like a talk show. And so we've done some really interesting causes as well. And, of course, we've had our celebrity guests call in, and you can go to speakfreecelebwatch.com, by the way, if you wanted to check out the guests that we've had on top of the charts, speakfreecelebwatch.com. But we've got a montage, I mentioned it at the top, montage of the celebrity surprise guests that we've had, because sometimes I know that somebody's calling, and then other times you'll actually hear a couple of them, where usually the phone doesn't ring out loud, and if it does, it's called a hotline. It's not a public number that really anybody has. We don't get the wrong number calling in ever. So if it's ringing, it's somebody in this industry, in the entertainment industry, that has the number and is calling in for a reason. I've learned that very quickly. So when I see the little blue light on the phone flashing, you'll hear it, I think it's in the Joy Behar call, that we actually have the phone connected. So they've zinged me a couple times, thanks to my wonderful producers that we have. So that montage of surprise celebrity guests is coming up. Now, speaking of travel tourism, I'm going to tell you about that coming up in just a little bit. We're back right after this.
If you're diabetic, this message could change your life. Is your blood sugar out of control even when you do all the right stuff? Are you afraid of diabetic blindness and the risk of amputation, as well as all those other side effects? Well, you should be. Is there anything that could help manage your blood sugar? Nobetes is a natural supplement that may quickly and dramatically lower your blood sugar.
My name is Bob Corder. I've been using Nobetes for about 3.5 to 4 months now, and in the first 3 months, I've actually lowered my blood sugars from 500s down to 139, and then it dropped to 88 to 93.
My name is Kirsten. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and while taking Nobetes, my blood sugar levels dropped from 295 to 115 in just 1 day.
The FDA hasn't evaluated these statements, and Nobetes isn't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. But for many, it's helped drop their blood sugar. So if you've been evaluated with high blood sugar, don't delay. Evaluate Nobetes now. Call 800-478-9568 and get your free bottle. Just cover shipping and handling. Call 800-478-9568. That's 800-478-9568.
Jeremy Bradley here, back on the Scribble, looking back at 500 episodes of our syndicated radio show, Top of the Charts. In that last segment, I mentioned our travel tourism broadcasts, and, next week we're broadcasting live from Quebec City, and our Christmas programming in a very beautiful European-type city, and I can't wait for... we've got something going on here. I'm just going to find out. Everybody's frantically rushing around. Just tell me, I can hear you. Go ahead. This is live broadcasting, folks. Oh, okay, well, we're... I'm going to tell you what I just did. I blew a surprise, everybody. I just scooped our radio show because we haven't announced that we're going to Quebec City yet on the radio. So here you are on the podcast listening to this. And our radio audience doesn't even know that we're going to Quebec City for our travel broadcast and then our Christmas shows this year. I'm terrible at surprises. This is why they don't tell me what's coming up on our 500th show. So, all right, well, you know what, I'm blushing. I'm really red right now. Okay, so we are going to Quebec City for like 4 days, and we're taping our Christmas show there, and then we're doing another show where we're exploring the city, and we're checking it out, and we're talking with people there, and it's all part of what we do every November and December. We're doing it in December this year, and our dedicated listeners, the 100,000, 300,000 listeners of our radio show don't know that we're going there yet. And we're making the announcement on Top of the Charts on the 500th show. And I just blew the surprise. So there we are. Good host, hey? But, we've checked out some really interesting places and done some really fun things. We go to Mexico every year, so we had checked out Pride. We were on the beaches there for Pride. I was swimming with dolphins there. I was swimming with a horse as well. I've gone ziplining through the jungle. Trying to think, we went on a dolphin and whale watching trip. I had a cooking lesson there. We've gone on pirate ships. There was a Canadian night, so that was pretty fun as well. And then we've also been over to Orlando, where we checked out Disney World and SeaWorld. And then we've been to, well, of course, Los Angeles, where we've covered all those red carpets, and we've checked out the LA Zoo, and we went in a helicopter over the city. We also have gone to Yukon. That was earlier this summer. We did a broadcast on the podcast, on the Scribble here, where we talked with a bunch of the artists that were performing at the Dawson City Music Festival. That was in July. And we've been to Yukon twice. We met with some sled dogs there. We went to a brewery and did beer tasting. We went on a paddle wheel boat. I was part of a can show where I was shaking my butt on stage. And I'm trying to think of all these the pictures that they always laugh at me about. We've got a wall behind me in the studio here with pictures of all of the different red carpets that we've gone to. So we've covered some really cool events. And, we've done Celebrity Apprentice outside Donald Trump's building in New York. We did the TV Land Awards in New York City. We've also done the American Country Awards in Las Vegas. We've done The Voice, America's Got Talent, American Idol, the Comedy Central Roast of Roseanne, all in Los Angeles. So we've covered really a lot of ground when it comes to the 500 shows that we've done for Top of the Charts. So I mentioned earlier that we've got that montage. It's about 10 minutes, but it's really funny to listen to these surprise guests that we've had call into the show, and we're going to play that for you right now. So here is a look back at 9.5 years of celebrity guests on Top of the Charts. All right, talking about reality shows still, let's go to the phones. Hi, you're on the air.
Jeremy?
Yeah.
Tribe has spoken.
Oh, great. Oh, great. Another crazed Survivor fan. Who is this?
Jeremy, this is Jeff Probst.
Oh.
I'm a crazed fan. I am your worst nightmare. Tribe really has spoken.
It's the crazed Survivor host, ladies and gentlemen. And, well, thanks for giving us a call, Jeff. Here's the thing. You're taking over primetime with Survivor, then daytime with your talk show, and now what? You're trying to move into radio then? Nicely done.
We definitely haven't taken over daytime. We're struggling to hang in there, but it's been a fun experiment so far.
Well, let's talk about that, because, there's still talking about the funny things your pets do. Now, we've been hearing all about my golden retriever, lots of emails coming in. I'll be writing back to you guys as soon as possible, don't worry. But we've got some calls. Let's go to the phones. Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, is Ernie there?
Is Ernie here? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I got a message. He says he's having trouble with his human.
With his human?
Yeah.
Okay, who is this?
Caesar Milan.
Caesar Milan. Caesar Milan, we've been wanting you on the show for years, and you call for Ernie.
Just kidding, Jeremy. How you doing, man?
All right, okay, good. Well, you know what? I accept your apology. So I guess, so you're calling me for dog advice. What do you need to know, Caesar? Oh, no, that's sorry. Other way around, right?
I hope so, yes.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hello, this is Clay Aiken. How are you?
Oh, hi. I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm sitting here getting ready for the finale of Celebrity Apprentice, and I wanted to call and thank you, I guess, for voting and being so supportive. But I'm confused. What phone number are you calling? There isn't a phone number.
No, see, that's the thing. Now, I've been encouraging everybody, just for those who aren't caught up to speed with this, I've been encouraging everybody to vote for Clay this season. I'm never told who. I always love these surprises, so let's see. Let's see who our first guest is on our special holiday shows. Hello, you're on the air.
Yeah, this is Nick Lachey.
Oh.
Want to call in and say hello?
Oh, just what I wanted for Christmas. Hi, Nick. How are you?
I heard a vicious rumor, that I was the most downloaded interview off of your website. And I felt like it was time, considering it is the holiday season, to call and rub that in your face.
Yeah, you're such a kind soul. Thank you for that. No, but
giving,
I do appreciate you making time right now. But yeah, I think we got more phone calls from the interview that we had last year than we got from me all year. So thanks for that.
My pleasure. I'm actually honored.
All right, continuing on with our discussion about what annoys you at movie theaters. Now, we've heard everything from kicking the back of your seat to loud chewing, cell phone addicts, and apparently there's some sort of unique story on the phone right now. Hello, what is your big movie theater gripe?
Yeah, I got to say, my biggest gripe, with the movie theater is people talking about me coming on your show to annoy you during a movie. It was really distracting. So I got to say that's my biggest gripe.
Coming onto my show. Oh, let me guess, Nick Lachey, right?
Every time I'm in a movie, I have to hear about this. I can't tell you how distracting it is when you're right deep in the middle of a plot.
It is.
What's up, man?
Well, normally you're a Christmas surprise, but I guess this year you're haunting Halloween for me too, are you?
That's right. I'm an equal opportunity surprise any time of year.
I love it. Now, I should explain that every year when we have you on the show, we get bombarded with calls and requests to have you back, probably more so than to have me on the show, and it's my show. So I do appreciate you calling in to be a guest today.
Always a pleasure.
And, congratulations on your wedding, but I guess since you're married now, you can't be flirting with me anymore, all right? That has to stop.
Well, you're able to look.
Good thing. That's why we do this on the phone, right? Because it's a little bit safer that way. All right. Oh, the celebrity phone is lighting up. Let's see. That always makes me nervous when they don't tell me who it is. Hello, you're on the air.
Good morning, Jeremy. It's Ty Pennington. How are you?
Good. How are you, Ty?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm very good.
I think you just sort of scared the crap out of everybody listening right now.
Well, yeah, my voice does that. You know, it can be so calming, yet it can be so alarming.
Yeah. Now, you're not calling to tell me that you're knocking down my house, are you?
No, but we have talked to your neighbors, and we know that you're not home. So actually, you really just don't know. But I think you might be lucky. We're actually tearing somebody else's house down right now, so that's a good thing. But the good news is we're also building another one.
Oh, that's always the thing. You knock it down, but you always replace it with something much better.
Right? Yeah, that's the kind part.
Yeah. Around at 2 a.m. I mean, who said that radio is a 9 to 5 gig? Really? I mean,
Hey,
it's.
I didn't say it was 9 to 5.
Hello, who is this?
Hey.
Hi.
This is Dolly. I didn't say anything about it being 9 to 5.
No, this is not Dolly Parton.
Yes, of course it is. In fact, I was wanting to call and tell you about my new DVD and CD. You don't by any chance have it yet, do you?
Well, I do. Okay, first of all, name 5 classic Dolly Parton songs.
Well, Here You Come Again, 9 to 5, I Will Always Love You, Jolene, Coat of Many Colors.
Oh, what's the name of her theme park?
Dollywood.
Oh, I'll be damned. This is Dolly Parton.
Are you still down with this is me?
I
Nobody
know.
has this squeaky little aggravating country voice, do they?
You know what? This morning at the meeting, I questioned. Get to that in just a little bit. And Katy Perry on Sesame Street, I guess not on Sesame Street, the controversy about her controversial cleavage with Elmo. That's I always love the celebrity phone ringing. Deep breath. Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, Jeremy, it's Joy Behar from The View.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Hi, Jeremy. How are you?
I'm good. Oh my God, you're telling me that I won the big giant 3D TVs. Is that what it is?
Not.
Oh.
No,
No?
you have to be sitting in the audience,
Oh.
and you have to, you have to be there.
I had
you
to
have
be
to
there
get
to-
the tickets on your own. You can't come through us. If you come through us, we don't give you the gift.
Oh, well, that's too bad. But you know what? There was a lot of excitement about our View contest earlier this week. I was just going to tell everybody who's winning the prize pack. I mean, we've got tickets to The View, books, coffee mug, poster. Did you want to help me give that announcement?
I will do that right now, and I think I'll do it the way Oprah Winfrey does it.
Uh-oh, okay, cool.
And guess who's getting the gift? Holly Carrington from Spokane, Washington.
Holly Carrington. You know what? I remember her.
Applause.
Yeah, we'll add in the sound effects after, but I remember Holly. She was the one. She does her own Hot Topics with friends over coffee. So congrats on our own Bonnie Winters. Will be in touch with you soon, Holly. But Joy, we've got you on the phone. Let's talk about the 3000th show. You know, it was... Let's get into today's web poll. Now, of course, every week we always have a zany question for you, and we do this one at least once a year because I want to know what your thoughts are and what your habits are. Head over to our website, jbonair.com. The question is, do you lick your fingers when you eat? Again, you know what? We went for lunch. Bonnie Winters and I were sitting there, and maybe I'm just more of a lady than she is, but she shoves her fingers in her mouth and starts licking her fingers when we're done. And to me, it's kind of bizarre. Like, I don't know. I just find it to be weird. But every time we do this web poll, I'm always outnumbered because most people do this. And I thought, well, maybe this is just sort of a redneck thing, right? Like this is just like a, you know, if you have barbecue, where's Jeff Foxworthy when you need him? But I don't know. It's not something that I do. So send me an email, jb@jbonair.com. Give me a call, 1-866-986-6247, 1-866-98-ON-AIR. We'll be getting to some of your responses coming up in just a little bit. And I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me. I guess I'm not a finger sucker, but what do I know? All right, well, the phones are lighting up. We've got to get to your web poll responses. Let's go to the phones right now. Hi, top of the charts. Who's this?
It's Bonnie.
Oh, for crying out loud. Wrong number. Let's try another one. Hi, top of the charts. Who's this?
Hi, it's Jeff Foxworthy.
Oh, no.
I heard the comment.
You're calling about the redneck thing, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, please, about licking your fingers?
Yeah. Well, what's your answer to the web poll? I mean, we've got you on the phone. Do you lick your fingers when you eat?
Well, if you're eating something with a fork, like peas and you're licking your fingers, I think that's a problem. I mean, that's probably redneck. But if you're eating, fried chicken or pizza, you don't lick your fingers? I can't believe that.
No, I don't.
When you have, like, pizza goo and cheese, floating down your hand there.
just not appetizing. I guess so. So what's your favorite then? Is it the like barbecue wings? Like what's your?
Yeah, barbecue wings usually get it. To me, if it's a good batch of barbecue wings, you can't even wear a shirt while you eat them because you're going to have a big mess.
So you're like licking your arms and everything then.
Yeah, when it gets down to licking your arms, I may agree with you. You might be a redneck if that's the case.
All right, we've had a great response to the web poll question. The phones are lighting up. It's funny, line 2 right now says Goofy on the display that Bonnie's not in today, is she? No, editor Bonnie Winters is calling into the show. Let's chat with her. Hi, Bon.
Worse, no, it's not Bonnie. I am Goofy.
Oh, it's really goofy. This is pretty cool. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Things are great. How are things over there at Disney?
Well, they're doing great. All sorts of stuff is happening, and we got a show coming up.
You do have a show coming up, and I know a lot of your friends are on the show, too, so it'd be great if one or two of them could join us on the phone, too.
Why, sure. My pal Donald's here. Say hi, Donald.
Hi, Donald. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. This is so cool. I've always wanted to meet you two.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
We hear you chirping. Get scribbling. Tweet up the Scribble at The Scribble Show. Join the discussion with Jeremy Bradley. It's all going down right now on Twitter at The Scribble Show and at thescribbleshow.com.
That's right, Larson. Follow along on Twitter at The Scribble Show. Jeremy Bradley here. This is The Scribble Podcast, looking back at 500 episodes of our syndicated radio show called Top of the Charts. It's funny listening to those clips because... yeah, it's just memories. It's been a really good time. And we're very fortunate because when you look at how much money and production goes into, let's say, a new television show being developed, and those shows they'll be in the works for months, maybe even a year in advance, and they'll be canceled after 2 episodes, 3 episodes, right? So a 30-minute show or a 1-hour show, they've spent millions of dollars on. They've had, how much... in terms of crew and man hours that have been put in, and then all of a sudden it's just gone. So we're very fortunate that we've been making money for a long time. We've got a really tight group here. We've got many different projects on the go. 2 hours of radio, doesn't cost a lot to produce unless we're off, venturing somewhere. But 9.5 years of doing something is incredibly... I don't even know what the word is. It's incredibly exciting because when you look at how many people spend a year at a job, 2 years at a job, people are job hoppers nowadays, and we don't have that long term. My dad's been at the same job for 30 some years. My mom probably about 15, maybe almost 20 years. She's been a teacher. And you don't see that very much with the millennials, as we call them, or this new generation. Because you get a job and then you lose interest and you find something better that comes along. And then you lose interest in that and then you find something better. We've been doing this and we've been committed to producing radio shows and now these books of recently and this podcast now of recent. And it's just a good time because we enjoy it. We have fun and it doesn't seem like work most days. Yes, I'm an incredible ball buster. Don't you worry. I am kicking ass on Tuesday mornings for those production meetings. I also typically don't work Mondays. I often don't work Fridays. And I love what I do. So, you know what? I'm a proud college dropout. I think, did I mention that last week or was it this week on the show? That, we found something we love. It's cliche that, find a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life. But in all honesty, I'm paid to vacation. I'm paid to hang out and drink with celebrities on red carpets. It's a pretty sweet deal. So Top of the Charts, the week of December 7th, it's airing. Check out jbonair.com for the show's website. And then all of those celebrity guests, again, are online at speakfreecelebwatch.com. Speakfreecelebwatch.com. Last week, I think we've extended the sale at speakfreebooks.com. Use the coupon code BF as in Black Friday, BF30 for 30, Black Friday 30. 30% discount on the books at speakfreebooks.com. Put down your damn phone already. I think we're getting close to being a bestseller on that one, so I would hope that you can help us push that over the edge and make it a bestseller. Speakfreebooks.com, BF30 is your coupon code. So we are broadcasting from Quebec City next week and the week after that for our Christmas programming. We'll have a special link on the Top of the Charts website if you want to check that out. But we'll have another interesting episode of The Scribble next week, and I can't wait. I can't wait for you to join me again. Feel free to give me a shout anytime. It's always awesome hearing from you. My email address, jb@jbonair.com, and as you heard Larson say, we're on Scribble. We're on Twitter @The Scribble Show. Bye-bye, everybody.
Want more Scribble? Check out thescribbleshow.com for past shows, celebrity interviews, cheapskate tips, and more. That's at thescribbleshow.com and on Twitter @thescribbleshow. The Scribble is a Speak Free media presentation.
If you want some real heat